Purpose of legal descriptions. They're used to describe a property in a way that uniquely identify it from any other parcel. A survey is a drawing of a parcel showing its boundary lines. Types of legal descriptions, there's three. You have meets and bounds, government survey system, and lot and block description. Description by meets and bounds. This is the oldest type of legal description. Meets refers to distance and bounds refers to direction. It starts at a point of beginning. That's an exact reference. It's the starting point. So starting at the point of beginning, the first boundary is determined from the legal description as you're reading it. And that indicates the direction and distance to the first corner of the parcel and so on. Now, corners of the parcel and the point of beginning are identified with a fixed marker called a monument. Description by meets and bounds begins with either north or south, followed by a number of degrees up to 90 degrees. Directions that follow the number of degrees indicates whether a direction is east or west of due north or south. For example, north 45 degrees east. The government survey system is based on the grid system. It's used in Florida, but not the original 13 states. The beginning reference is the intersection of the north-south line called the principal meridian and the east-west line, which is the baseline. There are 36 of these principal meridian and baselines throughout the U.S., and in Florida, Tallahassee is where the principal meridian and baseline meet. Range, that's the vertical north and south range lines parallel to the principal meridian. They're every 6 miles. They result in a 6-mile vertical north-south strip called a range. They're numbered beginning at the principal meridian and moving outwards, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Township or tier. The horizontal east-west township lines every 6 miles parallel to the baseline, just like your range lines. They're a series of lines 6 miles apart on either side of the baseline. 6-mile wide horizontal east-west strips called tiers or townships. Again, they're numbered beginning at the baseline and moving outwards, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Townships. Grid pattern formed by the intersection of range lines and township lines. They are a series of squares 6 miles squared called townships. Townships contain 36 square miles. There's 6 miles on each side. And they're identified by the township, tier, and range. For instance, Township 2 South, Range 3 East is located in the second tier of townships south of the baseline and third range east of the principal meridian. And there's an example, give you a better idea. Now, locating a section. Each township is further divided into 36 sections, and each section is 1 square mile or 640 acres. The sections are numbered in an S pattern beginning in the northeast upper right corner of the township with section number 1. The sections are numbered 1 in the northeast corner consecutively west through section 6. Then it drops down and comes back. So the section numbers then wrap around in an S pattern. And there's you an example. Measures and terms. A check is a square 24 miles on each side created by intersecting guide meridians and correction lines. Township is a square 6 miles on each side containing 36 square miles, 36 sections, also referred to as the east-west strip of land north and south of the baseline. A section is square 1 mile on each side, containing 640 acres. You will need to memorize that number, 640 acres. Additional survey measures, an acre has 43,560 square feet. A benchmark is a permanent reference mark affixed to an iron post or a brass marker used to establish elevations, and a mile is 5,280 feet in length. These again, you're going to need to know: 43,560 square feet in an acre and 5,280 feet in length in a mile. Other measures and terms: government lot. That's a fractional piece of land less than a full quarter section located along the banks of lakes and streams. A quarter section equals 160 acres. Subdividing sections. To find the number of acres in a tract, take 640 acres, that's the acres in one section, and divide by the denominator of each fraction in the legal description. And they give you the example: the southwest 1/4 of the northeast 1/4 of the southeast 1/4 of the northwest 1/4 of section 12, township 3 south, range 4 east. They want to know how many acres is in the legal description. All you have to do, 640, you had to remember that, 640, and you're going to divide it by the denominator in each one of those. So 640 divided by 4, divided by 4, divided by 4, divided by 4. There's 2.5 acres in that legal description. If you have "and" in the legal description, if "and" is in the middle of the description, calculate the acres on either side of the "and" separately to find the total acres. There's an example: the southeast 1/4 of the northwest 1/4 of the northeast 1/4. Stop there. That's 1. When you divide that out, that equals 10. As soon as you see that word "and," you start 640 again. 640 divided by 2, divided by 4, divided by 4. That equals 20. You add those two together, and you have 30 acres in the legal description. Lot and block. They're used only where plat maps have been recorded. Platted subdivisions are divided into large areas called blocks. Blocks are divided into lots. Lots are numbered. And blocks. Now, blocks can either be numbered or lettered. And I had a person in one of my exam prep classes that gave me a great way to remember it. She told me to close my eyes and picture a baby block, the little wooden baby block. And she asked me, does it have numbers and letters on it? And I said, yes. So now I can remember. I would not remember this. Even though I teach it all the time, it's not something I use on a daily basis. If you ask me which one was only numbered and which one could have numbers or letters, I'd never remember it. Now I can, because I know baby blocks have numbers and letters. So that means blocks are numbered and lettered and lots are only numbered. Plat maps. That's an engineer's plan for land use on the map of land. It provides for dedication of streets, parks, and school sites. It shows dimension for lots, streets, and planned improvements. And it's recorded under the subdivision name by book and page number. Tax maps. Each parcel of land within a tax district is assessed for tax purposes. Each parcel is assigned a parcel ID or an assessor's parcel number. They're used to prepare the tax maps, the tax rolls, and sometimes used to identify a parcel.